Let them help lead you in some of those areas. Youth, when you remove rebellion, you will look for wisdom in your elders. And it doesn't mean always it's got to be the guy 6 months away from his last assignment. If you're 18, 20 years old, a 40-year-old can teach you amazing things. My mentor, which I haven't seen physically yet, Bishop Holt, calling him out, ain't I? He did text me and tell me he had a problem. I didn't know if he's going to make it. But regardless, he's not that much older than me. I think he's about 15 or 16, 18, somewhere in that range. I forget how old he is. Tells you how well I know that. But you know what? He has taught me invaluable things. He's told me for years, I just want to be your sounding board. Then on the other hand, I've got elderly men that I lean upon their counseling. I seen somewhere this weekend Bishop Ledford several times, and often if I can, he is a man of few words, but I'll go to him, ask him a 5-paragraph question because I don't know how to ask it, and in 2 words he'll answer me and I have to think about it. But after I think about it and dwell on it and ask the Lord, I begin to find something in that. Keys and nuggets of wisdom. Literally in the last month I've went to him on that very question, or kind of question, and I walked away immediately knowing what God was telling me in that. What am I telling you? Look for it. Seek wisdom. Read the book of Proverbs. It'll tell you that. And you'll find it in those elders. Those elders that sometimes you think are out of touch, lost, and ain't got a clue about what's going on. Because that's what you think. But I promise you, you'll look and you'll find that. I'm not telling you to take everyone's advice, because some of it's hurtful, some of it's mean and crude, I know. But if you'll find a few, just a few sometimes. Some of our gray-headed ladies that are always cooking cakes for you, that just love on you, you'll be amazed at just sitting at their table eating their cake, what they'll say to you that could change your life. You'll not understand it then, it'll be years later. When I started youth pastoring at Arrowhead, my brother was 5.5 years younger than I. So he was in our youth most of those years, and several occasions he would go home and share with my mother what I had taught. And Mom would approach me often and say, I don't know, whatever it was, I used to tell you that all the time, and you argued with me about it. You just would not accept it. And here's what I told her. This was several years ago, so I wasn't too old, but old enough to learn this. I said, Mom, it wasn't that I ever thought you was wrong. I just didn't like your advice. Sometimes, young people, you won't like the advice, but it still makes it true. It'll take you a few years to maybe fully understand it, but err on that side of wisdom than immaturity. Do you hear me? We need some young people that are seeking spiritual fathers and spiritual mothers, that are looking for someone to pour in their life. We need elders that are looking for spiritual sons and spiritual daughters that says, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. You're my baby. Listen, you don't abuse. You don't speak things out of illness or dislike when you love your child, do you? Even if you correct them, you do it out of love. I've got little ones, I ain't that old, but they're old enough, I know that. Elders, when you find your spiritual son, your spiritual daughters, you'll speak with love and you will speak correction at times, but you will have earned the respect and the right to say that. Your first words to your spiritual son or daughter shouldn't be telling them how to dress, but should be loving on them and earning their trust, earning their respect, and proving to them that you truly love them. Then there will be an opportunity for you to guide them, because some of them, sometimes, young people, you need to hear, hey, that ain't becoming of a man or woman of God. I fully that. But guess what? If you'll love them first, you'll earn that right. And young people, when you know that, you need to hear that. If you know that person loves you, you ought to listen. Listen, I could show you scripture after scripture where it says, don't go, where it doesn't say this. Go to someone your age, ask their opinion, and do what they say. Scripture doesn't support that anywhere. But if you read, you'll find over and over that elders teach the younger. That is a principle of discipleship. Years ago, I've shared this many times before, but years ago, I began to look for some discipleship material. And I found to a conclusion that I was not happy with anything I seen, because everything I seen was a program. You cannot facilitate discipleship through a manual. You may use it to help out sometimes, but at the end of the book, it ain't done. Biblical discipleship takes place when I say, "You're mine," till the very end. You heard Bishop McKinley say that, as he calls him Papa, right? Calls Bishop Weekly his spiritual father in many ways, and I've heard him referenced many others that have mentored him. Listen, both of them to some of you are elders, but he still has a daddy that he knows is going to call on to him if he needs it. Someone he can go to and say, "It doesn't change, it never should." If we allow it, the spirit of rebellion will destroy this generation. I don't mean rebellion in the sense of drugs, but I mean in the church, in the good-hearted, loving people that we all are. If we allow that to blossom even greater and spread us even further, we'll never see maturity that fulfills, that all experience the last day move of God. Here's what this spirit of rebellion looks like, young people, to you. I want to do it different. I want to do it my way. Get out of my way. Let me do it. That attitude can become self-destructive. Our elders manifested at times in pride, not wanting to let anyone else get the glory. It's friendly fire, but it's still destructive. Essentially, here's what happens. It says to the young person, "I want to stand in front. Bishop McKinley, move out of my way. I want the spotlight. Let me stand in front of you." On the other side, it says, "Son, get behind me. I'm the man of God at the hour. It's my job. You get behind me." But here's what I believe it should look more like. And if I had Bishop Holt and Bishop McKinley and we wouldn't all die doing this or get injured, I'd do it. But I'd put Bishop McKinley down there, and then I would ask Bishop Holt to crawl on his shoulders. That would look funny, wouldn't it? Wouldn't get the point. Y'all might laugh. And then I would crawl upon their shoulders. And you know what? We've all got many, but what am I saying? It isn't then a shadow of just Bishop McKinley or Bishop Holt. But when they join together and sitting on each other's shoulders, it becomes a mixture, and the only thing they can point to is up, because now their image is taller, it is higher, they can look forward, they can look up, and as we add to it, we only grow. And it's not about me, it's not about you at that point, but it's about Jesus. Because we have worked together, we have reached sights and heights that have never been experienced. Our shadows never grow when it is just us. The only way for our footprints and our shadows to truly grow is to climb upon our elders' shoulders. The only way we can ever grow is to climb upon our elders' shoulders. Because it's humbling. Because you ain't always leading it. But guess what? You are sourcing out of the wisdom, the years of experience before you. And you'll find purpose in it. You'll find that your purpose fits with their purpose more than you ever thought it did. See, that's sometimes our problem in that spirit of rebellion. We think our purpose is so different than Bishop McKinley's that there's no way we can ever work together. There's no way that I can ever sit under him. But if you will, if you'll serve, even in that, you'll find things just in conversation going, wow, that's my heart too. That's what I want to do. And you'll find opportunity in that. This is the way we'll reach people that have never been reached before. This is the way, as Joel said, and then Peter said, that then His Spirit will manifest upon all people. Because we have joined together, both young and old. Preachers, pastors, and laity alike. You say, I'm not a pastor, I'm not the preacher, I'm not the Sunday school teacher. It doesn't matter. As a woman or man of God, look for your spiritual son. Dig for them. Pray to God to give you that. And I promise you, your life's experiences, your purpose, your destiny will continue long after you live.